So I published another game to the App Store. This one's really simple. It's just on the iPhone. It's not on iPhone, iPad, Mac, all that. And Apple TV and all the things that I've been trying to do with my games, get them on all the platforms. And the reason being is laziness, probably. I don't want to do screenshots for all the platforms. Also, the way I set up the background image, I was like, I don't want to. It probably would have been not that much, but I didn't want to mess with it for everything. So I was like, I'll just do it iPhone. Because the goal of the game was two things. One, all the graphics were done by me, and that's why they look pretty basic. Because previously I used open source like CC0 graphics, except Phantom Maze. Sorry for bumping the phone. Which I guess I did make some graphics, and if anyone's played, I mean, you can check that game out on the App Store. It's not amazing looking either, but yeah. So this was a test of me trying to get better at Blender and kind of test some things out. And so in that way, it worked out really well. All the graphics were made in Blender, and some of the graphics, I guess I made some like Game Center achievement graphics in Pixelmator Pro, which brings me to the next thing. In Game Center, I've only ever had a high score and then like daily high score. I haven't had achievements. In this game, I have achievements. So through the 4 games, like say 1D Dash, 2D Dash, Phantom Maze, Pothole Fury Road, I think that's 4 games I've made now that are on the App Store now, currently. And they've all done something for me to figure out and test different things on different platforms. Like you can create custom fonts on all of Apple platforms really easily. But when you're on Mac, it's a little different. So you have to do an extra step. So that's figured out. Apple TV requires a ton of different graphics for icons and shelves and all kinds of things. And it seems like just a pain or just extra steps just to get stuff going for that. I still need to work with like the Focus Engine and play around with a few different things for input for tvOS, and play around with how I'm going to do, like there's still some things I need to clean up, but I already know kind of like where to go. I haven't made a 4-player game yet on the App Store, and maybe comment below like, oh, maybe I should throw out a really quick, simple 4-player game to test that out and have it published, but I don't know if I need to do that. I've already played around with it a bit in code, and I think I'll be able to pull it off. And yeah, so generally speaking, all these little games have given me functional code that does pretty much what I want. And now I can take all that, combine it, and there's still work that needs to be done, but for the most part, a large portion of the work has already been kind of proven and working to a basic extent and could just use some refinement. So my next game, I was thinking of something like Cthulhu Carnage. Thinking meaning I already got that name in the App Store Connect, so that's the name. I'm not changing it. Cthulhu Carnage, even though the more I was thinking about it, I was like, maybe I should have called it like The Horror in Clay. Because I'm thinking about playing around with Blender and seeing about trying to make like claymation looking characters and environments, and making a beat 'em up, side-scrolling beat 'em up Cthulhu game that's up to 4 players and has like a claymation aesthetic. So that's my goal for my next game, and I've already started working on that. And so far it's coming out pretty good because again, I've already built out a lot of the code, but I haven't beat up like the beat 'em up logic. I haven't developed any players that have like, see, all my players at this point in the games are basically sprites, and then they have a collision and then the game's over. I haven't built up like an actual character, right? Like the character doesn't just get hit once, it's got health points, it's got different moves, different things, like all these other little things. So that needs to be developed. Other little things still need to be developed, but I think most of the focus on this game is going to be graphics, which again I'll be doing with Blender. And again, I'm going to try and attempt to do a claymation aesthetic. Maybe when I'm getting into it, I'll be like, yeah, this isn't so cool. But so far, I think it could be fun. And then another thing I want to work on is sound. The sound of my games is terrible. The last game, I used Logic Pro, and the sounds are pretty bad. The ending, like, crashing sound is kind of funny, but I mean, other than that, it's pretty blah. Yeah, so all that to say is I've got another game out, and all these little games I've made have all had some component or some test or something that has helped me get to a point where I think it shouldn't take too much more effort to make, and like on the code side, I don't think, to make hopefully an aesthetically pleasing, like cool, atmospheric, side-scrolling, Lovecraftian Cthulhu beat 'em up game. So with 4 players, I think it'll be fun. So that's the update. Links to the code and to the game. And if you're interested, comment down below if you check out the Discord link. Not a whole lot going on there, but it's it's an easy way to communicate when I have a random update instead of trying to make a video every time. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. And until next time, I'll make another video next time I make a game. Or maybe I should do like weekly videos with like updates. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Anywho, ta-ta.